Nobody is coming. Not your family, not your friends, not that mentor you've been hoping finds you. Nobody is coming to pull you out of the place you're stuck in. And the sooner you accept that, I mean really accept it deep in your bones, the sooner your entire life changes, because right now, somewhere inside you, there's still a part of you waiting, hoping, expecting, and that part of you, that's the very thing killing your potential. This video is going to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to be, because the truth is always uncomfortable at first. But if you stay with me all the way through, you won't just feel motivated when this ends. You'll be different. Let me paint a picture. It's 11:47 p.m. You're lying in bed. The room is dark. The phone is face down on the nightstand because you already know if you pick it up, you'll just spiral. You'll see someone else's highlight reel, someone younger than you, doing more than you, moving faster than you, and the ceiling becomes this blank canvas where you project every version of yourself you were supposed to be by now. You lie there, not sleeping, not resting, just processing, running the math of your life in your head, how much time you've spent, how little you've built, how far you still have to go. And then the voice starts. You know the one. Maybe you're just not built for this. Maybe this is as good as it gets. Maybe everyone else just has something you don't. And the worst part, you don't fight it. You just let it play on repeat until exhaustion finally pulls you under. Does that sound familiar? Because if it does, you need to know something right now. That's not weakness. That's not failure. That's what happens when someone deeply wants more but doesn't yet know how to get there without depending on something outside themselves. You've been handed a broken map, and you've been following it faithfully, waiting for someone to correct the route. This is me correcting the route. Here's the truth nobody tells you. You're not stuck because you're lazy. You're not stuck because you're broken. You're not stuck because life is unfair. Even if it has been, you're stuck because your brain is made depending on others feel like safety. Think about that. Really think about it. From the moment you were born, your survival required other people, parents to feed you, teachers to guide you, friends to validate you, society to accept you. Your entire nervous system was wired from childhood to seek external approval before taking action. So when you say you need someone to believe in you before you try, that's not character weakness. That's biology doing exactly what it was programmed to do. But here's where it gets dangerous. What worked at age 5 will destroy you at age 25, 30. 35, because as a child, dependence was survival. As an adult, dependence is a prison, and you built the walls yourself, one brick at a time, every time you waited for permission to move. Let me give you a real scenario, and I want you to feel this. Marcus is 27, smart guy, works a job he hates, but it pays the bills. He has this idea, a business concept he's been carrying around in his head for 2.5 years. He's done the research, he's run the numbers, he knows logically it could work, but Marcus has never started it. Why? Because Marcus has been waiting for his older brother to tell him it's a good idea. He's been waiting for his girlfriend to say she believes in him. He's been waiting for one friend, just one, to say, yeah, let's do this together. And none of them have. Not because they're bad people, but because they're living their own lives, fighting their own battles, carrying their own fears. So Marcus's idea, that idea that could have changed his entire trajectory, sits in a notebook, untouched. And every time Marcus sees someone younger, less experienced, doing exactly what he imagined, he feels something dark, not quite jealousy, something worse, recognition, the painful acknowledgement that the only thing standing between him and that life was him. That's what waiting costs you, not just time, possibility. Here's what's happening inside Marcus's brain, and maybe inside yours. Psychologists call it external locus of control. It's the belief, often unconscious, that your outcomes are determined by forces outside yourself, other people's opinions, luck, timing, circumstance. And when that belief runs your life, you become reactive, passive. You're not the driver. You're a passenger, constantly looking around for someone to take the wheel. The breakthrough happens the moment you realize the wheel has been yours the whole time. Have you ever felt like Marcus? Let that sink in. The wheel has been yours the whole time, not partially yours, not shared with fate or luck or whether someone believes in you. Completely yours. And this is the moment most people turn away. Because ownership is terrifying. Ownership means you can no longer blame the circumstances. You can no longer blame the people who didn't show up. You can no longer point outward. You have to point inward. And that's where the real work lives. Here's the hard truth. The one that changes everything if you actually let it in. No one is coming to save you. Not now, not later, not ever. There is no cavalry, no mentor who's going to notice your silent potential from across a room, no parent who's going to fix what needs fixing, no relationship that's going to complete the incomplete parts of you. You are the rescue mission. You are the one you've been waiting for. Read that again. Now, here's where the shift happens. And this is the part of the conversation that separates the people who change from the people who keep watching videos and feeling temporary sparks that burn out by morning. You have been trying to build success, results, outcomes, followers, money, a better body, a better life. You've been chasing the thing, but here's what no one tells you. You're not building success. You're building the person who creates it. Every rep you do when you don't feel like it. That's not exercise. That's proof of self-governance. Every cold call you make while your hands are shaking, that's not sales. That's courage being trained. Every time you sit down to work when the world outside is loud and your mind is louder, that's not discipline. That's the construction of identity. You're not becoming successful. You're becoming someone incapable of being anything else. Do you feel the difference? Because this is where the false belief lives. Most people think, once I get the result, I'll feel like a new person. The truth works in reverse. You become the new person first. The results are just the evidence. It's 5:13 a.m. The alarm goes off in a Chicago apartment. Deja, 29 years old, single mom, working 2 jobs, rolls over and stares at it. The baby was up at 2. She got maybe 3 hours. The easier thing, the completely human thing, would be to hit snooze. But Deja has a rule she gave herself 6 months ago after the night she sat on the bathroom floor and cried in a way she hadn't since childhood. The rule is simple. Whatever I feel like doing, I do the opposite for the first hour. So she gets up, not because she feels good, not because someone is watching, not because the results have shown up yet. She gets up because she made a promise to the version of herself that's still ahead of her. And she's decided that person matters more than her momentary comfort. 6 months later, Deja has launched an online tutoring business on the side. It's small, but it's hers. And more importantly, she trusts herself now in a way she never has before. Not because life got easier, because she got harder. And that's the identity shift. Right there. In a 5 a.m. decision made alone in the dark with no one watching and nothing guaranteed, that's who you're being built into. If this is hitting you right now, and I mean really hitting you, it's because somewhere deep down, you already know this is true. That's not coincidence. That's clarity breaking through. Hit like on this video right now. Not for me, for every other person out there in that dark room at midnight running the math on their life who needs to find this. You sharing this could change someone's entire trajectory. And subscribe, because this channel exists for one reason, to make sure that when you need this, it's here. Now let's keep going, because the most important part is coming. So we've identified the problem. We've named the shift. Now let's talk about how, because this isn't a philosophy class. You need tools, real ones, things you can use tomorrow morning. The no audience protocol. Here's what most people don't realize. You are performing right now, even alone. Your brain runs a constant simulation of how other people see you, and you make decisions based on that imaginary audience. If I start the business and fail, what will people think? If I go to the gym and it's hard, will I look weak? If I try and it doesn't work, what does that say about me? The imaginary audience is the most powerful critic you'll ever face, because you never get to answer back. The tool for the next 30 days, make every major decision by asking one question. If literally no one would ever find out I did this, would I still do it? If yes, that's alignment with who you actually are. If no, you're performing for a crowd that isn't even there. Simple application tomorrow morning. Do one thing entirely for yourself with zero documentation. No post, no story, no check-in. Just do it. Notice how it feels. That quiet sense of self-respect you get, that's what self-reliance actually feels like. The identity statement. Your brain believes what you repeat, not what you wish, not what you want, what you say consistently in your internal dialogue. Right now, inside your head, there's a running script. And for most people, it sounds like, I'm trying to get better. I'm working on it. I hope this works. I hope. That's the language of a passenger. The shift, you replace hope language with identity language. Not, I'm trying to be disciplined. I am someone who does what they say. Not, I'm trying to get healthy. My body is a tool I sharpen daily. Not, I'm working on being confident. I act before I feel ready. That's what I do. Real life example, every morning before he did anything else, one of the most successful coaches in professional basketball history wrote 3 sentences about who he was, not who he wanted to be. Present tense, active, unambiguous. He said it was the single most effective habit of his 30-year career, because identity precedes action. Always. Application tonight, before bed, write 3 I am statements. Make them real, not fantasy. Make them about your behavior, not your feelings. Read them every morning for 60 days. Watch your decisions change. The discomfort ladder. Most people try to do too much too fast, then fail. Then use the failure as evidence that they're not built for discipline. That's not failure of character. That's poor strategy. Here's the truth about discomfort. Your brain treats any unfamiliar discomfort the same way it treats danger. It triggers avoidance, flight, resistance. That's why starting is always the hardest part. The solution isn't to overpower the resistance. It's to make the first rung of the ladder so low the brain can't justify avoiding it. Tool, pick one area of your life you want to change. Start with a commitment so small it feels almost embarrassing. 5 push-ups. Write 1 sentence. Make 1 call. Walk for 10 minutes. Not because small is the goal, because showing up consistently builds the neural architecture for larger showing up. You're not starting small. You're starting smart. Real life example. James Clear documented this in The Science of Habit Formation. The 2-minute rule, the idea that any habit can be started with a 2-minute version of itself. But here's what gets missed. The power isn't in the 2 minutes. It's in the proof that 2 minutes delivers. Proof that you showed up. Proof that you can trust yourself to do what you said. That proof compounds. Application. Pick one thing you've been avoiding. Find the smallest possible version of it. Do it today, not tomorrow. Today. The ownership audit. Once a week, not daily, because daily becomes overwhelming. Sit down and ask yourself 2 questions. 1, where did I give my power away this week? Where did I blame, defer, avoid, or wait? 2, where did I take ownership, even when it was uncomfortable? This isn't self-punishment, it's calibration. Because you can't fix what you don't see. And most people never look. The brutal part of this tool, you will realize how often you give your power away without noticing. To someone's comment, to a bad morning, to a rejection you didn't process, to a fear you didn't name. The gift of this tool, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And awareness is always the first move toward change. Application, set a 30-minute block every Sunday. Same time, same place, no phone. 2 questions, honest answers. This single habit done consistently will change the quality of your decision-making within 60 days. Not because of magic, because of attention, the silence practice. This is the one nobody wants to do, and it's the most important. Every day, for at least 10 minutes, sit with yourself. No music, no podcast, no phone, no input, just you and your thoughts. Do you know how rare that is? In a world engineered to fill every millisecond of your attention, choosing silence is a radical act of self-reliance. Because inside the silence is where you hear what you actually think, what you actually want, what you actually fear. Most people are so afraid of their own mind that they fill every moment to avoid it. And then they wonder why they feel disconnected from themselves. You can't find your direction in noise. You can only find it in stillness. Application. Tomorrow morning, before the phone, before the music, before the news, sit. 10 minutes. Do not try to think about anything specific. Just let the thoughts come. Observe them. Don't chase them. You'll be surprised what shows up when you stop running from yourself. Now I want you to see this. Not just understand it. See it. Imagine this. It's 8 months from now. Same person. Different internal architecture. You wake up. Not because you have to, but because the morning has become yours. The first 30 minutes belong to you. No one gets to touch them. You've protected that time so fiercely that it now feels like the most important meeting of your day. You sit, you breathe, you write 3 sentences that remind you who you are, and then you move. Not because the motivation is overwhelming, not because someone texted you encouragement, not because the stars are aligned and the conditions are perfect. You move because this is what you do. It's no longer a decision, it's just who you are. Now, let's look at how the same situations land differently before the shift. Someone you respect criticizes your idea. Maybe it's your business concept, your creative work, your decision to change careers. They don't say it cruelly, but they're skeptical, doubtful. And the old you, the version that hasn't done this work yet, deflates. You take their doubt and wear it like armor. You slow down. You start wondering if they're right. You add their voice to the chorus in your head that's already questioning everything. The idea doesn't die dramatically. It just gets put away for now. And for now becomes forever. After the shift, same scenario, same person, same skepticism, but something is different now. You hear their doubt and you don't collapse into it. You don't argue with it either. You just hold it up to the light of what you actually know, your research, your effort, your consistent evidence of self-trust, and you say out loud or just inside, I appreciate that, and I'm doing it anyway. Not from arrogance, from alignment. You've built something inside that doesn't require their yes to move forward. You've learned to be the permission you used to seek from others. Do you see what's happening there? Here's another one. Let's talk about failure, because this is where the rubber meets the road. Before the shift, you try something new. It doesn't work. The numbers aren't there. The response isn't what you hoped. The result looks like proof of everything you feared. And the old mechanism kicks in. This failure becomes evidence, not data, evidence. Evidence that you were right to be afraid. Evidence that you're not the type of person who succeeds at things like this. And you quietly step back. You return to safe. You don't talk about it. After the shift, same failure, same disappointing numbers, same uncomfortable feelings, but now you developed a different relationship with discomfort. You don't interpret it as a verdict. You interpret it as feedback. You sit down, not to punish yourself, but to audit. What did I learn? What would I do differently? What does this tell me about the next move? And then, and this is the part that matters, you get back up. Not because it feels good, because you've trained yourself to understand that the people who win are simply the ones who get back up one more time than they fall. That's not inspiration. That's a system. So what happens next? What happens when you've been living inside this new architecture for 8 months, a year? The external world hasn't necessarily changed. Life is still hard. People are still unpredictable. Failure is still real, but you have changed. And here's the quiet miracle of that. When you change on the inside, the outside cannot remain the same. Not because of the universe rewarding you, because of something far more concrete. You make different choices. You pursue different opportunities. You tolerate less of what diminishes you. You invest more in what grows you, and slowly, undeniably, your reality begins to reflect your interior. That's not luck. That's the compound interest of self-reliance. I want you to sit in this for a moment. Think about the version of you that exists on the other side of this work, not the fantasy version, the earned version. The one built slowly, quietly in rooms where no one is watching. This version of you doesn't need the applause to know they're on the right path. They've built something better than applause, self-trust, the quiet, unshakable knowing that when life gets hard, and it will, you will not fold. Not because you're fearless, because you've already proven 100 small times that you can move through fear without being stopped by it. This version of you has a different relationship with time. You no longer waste it waiting for the right conditions. You create conditions because you've learned that waiting is not patience. It's procrastination wearing a mask. This version of you sits differently in conflict. When someone tries to diminish you through criticism, dismissal, comparison, you don't spike and defend. You don't crumble and disappear. You remain steady, present, because your identity is no longer sourced from their opinion. Can you feel that? That's not arrogance, that's sovereignty. And here's what transforms around you when you reach that place. Your relationships get better. Not because you need less from people, but because you come to them whole. You're not there to extract validation. You're there to connect, and connection is infinitely richer than validation. Your work gets better because the energy you were burning on fear and second guessing gets redirected into creation, problem solving, and forward motion. You become someone others can feel working in a room. That focused, clear, undistractable energy is rare. And it attracts opportunity the way still water doesn't. Your health gets better because the discipline you develop in one area seeps into every corner of your life. You can't build real mental strength and leave your body behind. They are connected. You begin to treat your physical self the way you treat the most important machine you own, with intention, with respect, with maintenance. But here's what I really want you to understand, and this might be the most important thing I say in this entire video. The transformation doesn't arrive like a lightning bolt. It arrives like sunrise. Slowly, quietly, then all at once. You won't notice the exact day you stop needing other people's approval to move. You won't mark the calendar on the morning your inner voice shifted from critic to coach. You won't remember the specific session where the discipline stopped feeling like sacrifice and started feeling like identity. But one day, you'll be in a situation that would have paralyzed the old you, and you'll just handle it calmly, competently, without spiraling. And someone nearby will say, "How are you so calm right now?" And you'll smile because you'll know you built that. Nobody gave it to you. Nobody could. That's the point. That's always been the point. We started this video with a hard truth. Nobody is coming, and I want to end it with something harder and something better. Nobody needs to. You are enough. Not the performed version of you, not the version waiting for permission, not the version hoping someone finally sees what you're capable of. The real you, the one who gets up when it's dark, who does the work when it's hard, who chooses the difficult thing because you've decided that difficulty is the price of becoming. That version of you has never needed saving. You were never broken. You were never behind. You were never less than. You were just waiting. And now The waiting is over. From this moment forward, every choice you make is a vote. A vote for the version of you that needed this video, or a vote for the version that made it obsolete. You've heard the philosophy, you've felt the shift, you've seen the path. Now the only thing left is the decision that no one else can make for you. Start today. Not Monday, not when things calm down, not when you feel ready. Because here's what 8 years of studying the most resilient humans on the planet has taught me: you never feel ready. Readiness is not a feeling, it's a decision. Make it. Because the world doesn't need another version of you waiting in the wings, preparing, warming up, getting ready to begin. The world needs you now in the arena, doing the work, making the mistakes, building the life, becoming the person. There is no later. There is only now. And now is exactly enough. Your mindset is your most powerful weapon. Now go use it. If this video spoke to you, like it, share it, and subscribe to Unbreakable Mindset. New videos drop every week, built for the person who refuses to stay stuck. And when you're ready to go deeper, watch this next.